As long as my wife boasts, whatever she boasts about will come true on me. She started boasting to her best friend, saying that my ability is particularly strong, and that I can do it 88 times in one night. However, her friend mocked her mercilessly. To prove her boasting skills, my wife, despite the pain, gave me her friend that night after a night of intense action. Her friend was defeated and admitted defeat. My wife was proud and even more arrogant, boasting on social media that I am the best cook in the world. Soon after, a comment appeared. "Stupid woman, you're so shameless. My husband is a master chef. He wouldn't dare say he's the best in the world. I'll come to your house tonight to expose your bullshit." I chuckled and assured my wife that I would make him weak in the knees tonight, considering that my wife always lets me cheat on her. The next day, I accompanied her on a stroll. On the way, we ran into her classmates, Sun Bo and Zhao Qing. The woman, with a sharp tone, said, "Oh, Lu Jianyuo, is this your pretty boy? I thought your taste was high, but this little husband of yours doesn't look as good as Sun Bo, and his other qualities don't seem impressive either. He's just a delivery boy." The man also gave me a dismissive glance, saying, "Buddy, you must be a fighter jet among delivery boys. How could you catch Lu Jianyu's eye? You must be making millions a month." Lu Jianyu fired back, "Sun Bo and Zhao Qin, are you two really together? Congratulations. My husband delivers packages for fun. His savings have already exceeded several billion. You only have a few million in assets. In reality, you only have a little cash. How can you afford a Land Rover? And where do you think Sun Bo is better looking than my husband? If you can't act, go see a doctor sooner rather than later." Zhao Qin was furious, her face turning ugly. I seized the opportunity and said, "Hey, old classmate, you can't park here. Even temporary parking is only allowed for 5 minutes. You've already been here for 6 minutes. If the fine is sent to someone else, how will you explain it?" Sun Bo, without thinking, looked at his phone and realized he had exceeded the time limit. He couldn't retaliate. As the two outside were laughing at him, furious, he drove away, with Zhao Qin shouting, "Sun Bo, what are you doing?" The car slowly disappeared in her loud voice. "Ha ha, little husband, you're too powerful." It seems like Sun Bo's situation is getting worse. Even his Land Rover is rented. At that moment, I heard the system's voice in my mind. "Congratulations, host. You've earned a reward for your wife's boasting. Reward, 10 billion in cash deposits and rental properties as assets. Various qualified certificates and company memories have been generated and properly managed." I exclaimed, "Fuck, the system dad really gave me this." Looking at my account, it feels like I'm dreaming. I was so nervous that I felt like I was going to die from breathing difficulties. Just as Lu Jianyuo said I had 10 billion in savings and assets, the system gave me 10 billion in assets and cash deposits. I couldn't tell my wife about this because the system had warned me that intentionally leading my wife to boast or planning it in advance would not result in a reward. We then arrived at a large mall. As soon as we entered the elevator, a woman rushed in and Lu Jianyuo accidentally tripped her. Her blue hair was pulled out a few strands, and she had a small scratch on her face. The woman seemed to be in a hurry and didn't argue much, asking softly, "Mommy." She quickly left. Lu Jianyuo was very annoyed. We went to the gym. I turned my anger into motivation. However, we ran into a fool who approached Lu Jianyuo, saying, "Hey, little sister, want to exchange some ideas tonight? I'm married and don't interact with other men." The fool gave me a disdainful look and said, "He's as skinny as a general. Do you believe I can tie him to a lamppost?" My wife's protective instincts kicked in, and she said, "Boy, don't mess with me. I remind you that my husband can knock you down with one hand." Before I could react, a familiar voice sounded in my mind. "The system detects your wife's bullshit. Reward, a set of Shaolin shadow legs." As the system's voice faded, I felt my meridians open up, and my confidence surged. I grabbed Lu Jianyuo and protected him. Telling my wife to back off as I was about to show off, I gave the fool a smirk. He became furious and launched a series of kicks at me, the Dr. Bao 7-leg technique. I ignored his punches and kicks, grabbed his wrist, and performed an over-the-shoulder throw, sending him flying like a sandbag. Too weak. He must have been working out with protein powder. Afterward, I dragged Lu Jianyuo away. As we reached the door, a group of people approached us aggressively, led by a cross-dresser with an angry face. He showed me a few strands of hair in his hand. I recognized the hair as belonging to the woman Lu Jianyuo had accidentally collided with in the elevator. It seemed they had come to settle the score, and I asked, "Is this our work? What's the problem?" They admitted it quickly, and the cross-dresser carefully put the hair back in his pocket. I was almost sickened by their actions. The woman they had collided with was a minor celebrity, slightly above a bit part, usually playing servant roles. I said, "He's a very promising star. I'll make him the brightest star in the entertainment industry." But you pulled out his hair and injured his face before the cross-dresser could finish. I interrupted, you just want money, don't you? The cross-dresser wanted to argue, but couldn't find a counter-argument, so he gave me an account number. I transferred 10 billion yuan to the account in front of them, asking, is this enough? I'm busy, so wait for the funds to arrive. Then, I got into the car with my wife. The cross-dresser was so shocked by the 10 billion that he couldn't speak. He stared at me as I left, only coming to his senses after a while. Lu Jianyuo asked, why did you give them so much money? Even if you have it, you shouldn't give it to scum like that. You shouldn't think that way, honey. Imagine if someone suddenly gave you this much money. Would you dare to take it? Believe me, they'll come back for it. Not only returning the original amount, but also paying interest. Lu Jianyuo was surprised at first, but quickly understood what I meant. Chen Si continued. What if they don't do as you say and just run away with the money? I recorded a video, and I saw it all. Ha ha, honey, you can't hide anything from me. So, how much are you willing to pay for the jewelry? I replied confidently, I'll give myself to you. You can do whatever you want to me, and I won't resist. Alright, let's decide that. Let's go home and discuss it. The next morning, I woke up feeling grumpy because I hadn't slept well due to my late night with Lu Jianyuo. My phone started ringing incessantly, seeing the caller ID. My anger flared up. I'll answer it, I said reluctantly. I'm Zhou Huan's father and a shareholder of Jiaxing Media. What do you mean by this? Mr. Zhou, do you think I offered too little? Mr. Yi, do you not want to reconcile? Zhou Yulong said. My daughter's agent said her injury wasn't severe, and 10 billion yuan in compensation is too much. I'll have someone send the money back to Mr. Yi. My money is yours to take, and you can send it back if you want. Even if it's in the bank, it should earn some interest. Right, Mr. Yi, please speak clearly, Zhou Yulong said irritably. Before the incident, your daughter almost pushed my wife down the stairs. I grabbed my wife in time, or else you would have been responsible. Your daughter also almost fell down the stairs, but I grabbed her. I did pull out her hair, but which is more important? The injury or the hair? I don't need to say more. Mr. Yi, is this acceptable in addition to your 10 billion? I'll give you 1 million. I've already apologized on behalf of my daughter. 1 million, Mr. Zhou. Are you joking? Your daughter's agent initially asked for billions? So let's make it 1 billion. You can choose not to give it if you have an issue with it. I hung up the phone, as I had discussed with Lu Jianyuo. The 10 billion would go out and come back with interest. Now that Zhou Yulong didn't want to pay the interest, he would have to face the consequences. Ding! The system detects that the host intends to seek revenge for Lu Jianyuo. The system rewards you with a raise and provides all the black materials of the media company. I checked the computer and found a new folder, Jiaxing Media Black Materials. I started exposing some of Jiaxing's scandals, and within a day, Jiaxing Media's parent company released several billion yuan to save the company. The situation stabilized, and I didn't expose more of Jiaxing's scandals. Now, it was up to Zhou Yulong. If he could understand the situation and call to resolve the issue, everything would be fine. Otherwise, I had enough black materials to destroy Jiaxing completely.